Live
from the Mirable Studios in Royal Berkshire.
This is United Kingdom Talk with Chris Reardon.
On the very last day of September, boys and girls. Well, that went quick, didn't it? Didn't even notice the month go, did you? Good morning to you, gang. It's Wednesday, the 30th of September 2020. Welcome along to Bracknell. And this morning's United Kingdom Talk coming to you from the Royal Borough of the Royal County of Berkshire. The Queen, of course, just up the right here. Listen, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Last night, I went out to my little, when I leave the door, there's like a little enclosed bit out there. And on a wall that is painted white, okay, there's all these daddy long legses. Daddy long legs, daddy long legs. Ah, daddy long legs. Which I gather are pretty harmless creatures. Daddy long legs. Now, I wouldn't mind. But they weren't on their own. They were back to back and they were doing it on my wall. It's not that type of house that I live in. I don't want to live in a house of ill repute. It's disgusting. I'm sure they're not the other insects. Other creatures have been doing it around my house recently. Back in the spring, it was the pigeons up there, flapping around, two of them, joined together. I don't want to be too graphic about it, but two pigeons joined together and fluttering at the same time. Fluttering away they were, doing it, you know. Well, this morning, last night was daddy long legses all over the white wall outside my house. Disgusting. Is there something I can do about it? I don't want to kill them. Don't want to kill them or anything, or brush them. You know, you don't want to sort of, how can I put it, interrupt them at their moment of fun, do you? I mean, how would you feel if, you know, you was with someone and someone walked in the door and said, could you move on, please? You wouldn't be happy, would you? On the other hand, I don't really have people climbing up and down my wall doing it all over the walls. What do you do about daddy long legs? What do you do about daddy long legs? It's all over the wall they were, having fun. Outrageous. I tell you what happens is it's no one's business. You know, and there's her down the end. Well, the curtains are always twitching down there, I've noticed. Babe Station Pearl, we call her. All goes on. I'm telling you, it all goes on here. Wouldn't believe it. Not only that, but I am shocked and horrified. Now, I haven't quite seen the story yet, I must admit. I can't see it now, actually. Where has it gone? Oh, where's the first story gone? I've missed it and it's gone. How's that disappear? I must have closed the window. One moment, please. I will refer to my notes. There's always a backup plan, you see. Not like most of you. I bet you got no backup plan, have you? Eh? No backup plan. Where is it now? Here we go. Channel 4. There's been a programme on Channel 4 which I've yet to watch. I'm hoping maybe to watch it this evening or tonight. But there's been a programme on Channel 4 and The Sun is reporting on this. Now, I have a question to you. Do you actually know what your nan or your granny gets up to? Or perhaps used to get up to when she was here? Maybe she's not here anymore. And it's made me look at my nans in a completely different light. Because I don't know. You're not with them 24 hours a day. How many times do you see your nan? Eh? Hour a week, couple of hours a week? Maybe a whole day? Maybe you had a little stay over, did you? Your nan? Eh? Well, in The Sun this morning, viewers were left shocked as they watched sex tourist grannies flying out for flings with young Gambian men on sex on the beach. You thought they were sitting at home knitting, didn't you? Eh? You know, maybe soaking in a nice bath with some lavender salts in it. Eh? Reading a book quietly there, waiting for your next appearance. You don't think their life revolves around waiting for you to turn up and go and visit them, do you? No, dear. They're doing other things. The only thing is, I don't think they're doing the other things that we all used to think they are doing. People at home it says in The Sun, cringed on watching the Channel 4 programme as horny British grannies preyed on local men in West Africa in the gobsmacking Channel 4 documentary. We've got to watch this. I'm going to be howling watching this. The hour-long film aired on Monday night on Channel 4, so you'll be able to get it on the Channel 4 iPlayer thing. Monday night, and investigated Gambia's reputation as a destination for British sex tourists, with a reporter wanting to find out if such relationships could ever be genuine given the exchange in cash and the difference in culture and age. Viewers were stunned to see bars packed full of white women in search of sea, sun and sex. These are grannies, as younger Gambian men courted their attention. One pensioner even told the journalist that the country was paradise because you can have a different man every night. They don't care, do they? However, people at home said they found the programme disturbing to watch. Do you know, they're the sort of people that sit at home, they ain't getting any. They're jealous people sitting in there judging away. These dirty old cows, they don't care. They're straight on the plane over to the Gambia, mate. Let's have some of that, boys. And I don't know what the younger girls are like in Gambia. I've never been over there. But if they're anything like the younger girls in here, when I've been DJing in clubs, and these young lads at the beginning of the night, they're trying to chat up these young girls, they're not having any of it, mate. They stand there, they offer them drinks, they take the drinks, they drink the drinks, only for it to go no further, not even so much as a conversation or even a thank you sometimes. Maybe they're the same as those girls. So when the old birds go out there, they're not interested in having drinks bought for them or dinners, are they? No! One said, the Sex on the Beach programme is so disturbing. Old white women preying on poor Gambian men for sex. How ugly is that? I bet it was a woman who did that. Some old bag wrote that, didn't it? Some middle-aged old bag who's sitting there criticising all the old dears and all the young men. Listen, young men, they're not bothered. Doesn't matter what country they're in. You know, when they want, doesn't really matter. In the straight world, and it doesn't happen like that in the gay world. In the straight world, that's how it is. I've seen it with my own eyes, dear. I used to DJ in clubs, and like I just said to you, beginning of the night, these beautiful young lads, they wouldn't come and chat me up, unfortunately. Young lads, anything from sort of the age of 18 to 35, sort of anywhere in between there, they'd be in there. And it was actually the younger lads, 18 to 25, I would say. They'd come in at the beginning of the evening, along with everyone else, and they'd be trying to chat up these girls. No, they're not having any of it. They'd buy them drinks. Nope, nothing happening. Not even a kiss on the bleeding cheek. Towards the end of the night, you'd get these 40-somethings come in. Women. 4 inches of makeup on, dressed up. I mean, really, dressed up like a young girl. Outrageous clothes, some of them, that didn't really fit them anymore, but they've managed to squeeze into them. Do you think they went home alone? No. Because the young lads, by this time, they've had a couple of drinks and they don't care anymore. They go and chat up the old birds. They're not worried, so that's why it works. Poor you Gambian men for oh, do me a favour. Well, they would say no if they didn't want to do it, wouldn't they? However, one more said, these horny grannies just want young men for sex. Some grannies are smart after sexual favours. They know how to end it and come back to Europe without any attachments. Oh, I'm just trying to think of my nan now. I'm seeing her in another light here. Nanny Hayes in the middle. Do you think... There she is in the middle. That's my mum on that side there. There's Auntie Brenda there. They're sisters, you see. And there's my nan in the middle. I just want you to look at her. What do you reckon? Because she was on her own for a long time. I'm trying to think if she disappeared on holiday on her own. Oh, Nanny Hayes, you naughty old girl. What do you reckon, eh? One bloke who's 32 said he had married a 68-year-old Belgian woman, although he originally claimed she was in her 80s. He said he'd never asked once for money, but she sent him £54,000. Well, why should they give the money to the bleating kids anyway? No, go and spend it and have a good time, girls. That's what I say. Not judging these people ever. Why would I judge these people? No. You got the money, girls. Go and do what you want with it. And if it means flying to the Gambia and getting some young lad, then go and do it. That's what I bleed and say. Who are these people? Listen to these people judging them. How dare you? How dare you? And they'll all be the millennial type. You know, the sort sitting there judging it. Oh, we think it's so disgusting. Girls, go and do what you want with your money. That's it. And if you haven't, just borrow some. Go over there anyway. That's what I'd do. Oh, my Lord. I love that story. So, Channel 4, Sex on the Beach. You've got to watch that. I'll try and watch it tonight, and perhaps we can talk about that tomorrow or something like that. Anyway, good morning to you. What's it like today? A bit dismal out there today. It's not too good. A rather disappointing game. A rather disappointing walk yesterday over the forest. An entire bag of bottles and cans. Bit disappointed with that, really. Because it's only a couple of weeks since I went and walked one particular route. But there you go. Picked up all the rubbish over the forest yesterday. Nice quiz last night. Very nice quiz. And the next quiz, of course, is next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Quiz night every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. And I've got a new gadget. Yeah, got a new gadget. Paul Adamson, I don't know if he's with us this morning, advised me to get one of these, which is a power measurer. He said, plug it into the socket that you're running your computers off and it'll give you a reading. And then you'll know how many watts you'll need for a UPS, an uninterrupted power supply. Because as you know, we've been having a little bit of a power issue in some of the caravans on the caravan site. I don't know if it's gone off in the last day. It looks like it went off at some point yesterday because when I checked on my mobile phone, I can turn certain things on and off in the caravan. One thing I've got in there is a smart light bulb, and I can tell my little Amazon device to turn the light on and off. The only thing is, if the power goes off, what happens is when it comes on again, generally the light comes on, right? It seems to default to on, and when I checked yesterday, it was on. So it looks like the power went out there at some point yesterday again, and we'll see. Perhaps Jeff is here and I'll be able to ask him. I'll have a look up and down the messages right now, actually. Good morning to Gary Ross. Let's have a look at the chat box. Gary Ross, good morning to you. Jason Hughes there. East Coast, nice and early for East Coast today. Diane Jeb, good morning. Andy V, hello to you. DSL DG2, did very well at the quiz last night, didn't you? Hello to you. There's my nephew, Gary Butler. Morning. There's Jeff. Morning, Jeff. How's the power issue? It looked like it went out once yesterday. Is that right, Jeff? Classic Gamer. Morning. Loves the thumbnail pics. Yes, I've just started doing them like that a few weeks ago on the advice of my brother-in-law. He said what you're trying to do is get, if they appear in some sort of YouTube recommendation, people would more likely click on that rather than click on a picture of me, because when you looked at my channel, it's just all pictures of me, which if you don't, do you see what I mean? So that's what I do now. I'm sorry, I've still got this itchy nose at the moment. So I'm glad you enjoy those, Classic Gamer. Thank you very much. Morning to Daniel Woodhouse. John Parrish is in the house. John sent another couple of pictures in. If you'd like to see those this morning, 20 likes. 20 likes to see John Parrish's pictures this morning. Mark Jones, good morning, young Mark. He's recently been on a little holiday on Tatchell Lakes. Morning to you, Mark. Hello to Stephen Petty. Again, him and the family last night. playing away at the quiz and doing very well. Morning, Stephen. Tony King, hello to you. Steve Carter, good morning, young Steve. There's also a couple of photographs that Steve Carter has sent in again this morning. You want to see them? We would like 20 likes, please, in exchange for those, my darlings. Denise Andrews, head of ducks on this channel. Greetings, Denise. Do. That's them, Gary. East Coast. Denise watched the programme after Heidi mentioned it yesterday. Good watch. I've got to watch that, Denise. I bet there's some really gorgeous lads on there and all, isn't there? 32, 35, that's like perfect age, I reckon. That sort of age, 32, 35, isn't it, eh? Eh? Because they're not too young to be really stupid still, are they? You know what I mean? Oh, dear. I love it. I've got to watch that. John Paris lived in the Gambia for 6 months. My mate, years ago now, he's not with us anymore. My mate went there and he said it was the worst holiday he ever went. Gambia. He said they went into this hotel and they were shown to the room, and when they opened the door, he said, I kid you not, there was this thing on the wall which was the size of a bird, and it was in fact an insect. It was enormous, just sitting there on the wall as they opened the door. And the electricity, it was a bit like being on our caravan, so the electricity kept going off. And they said, you've got to give them their due. Every night they'd wheel out this little disco unit into sort of an area to have a bit of a party. They'd start it and guaranteed 10 minutes later the electric would go off. But they tried, you know. It's probably different there now. That would be going back at least 25 years to when he was there. Morning to Gareth Loxton. Morning, Gareth. Long time no see. Hope you're well there. East Coast says no more cobwebs. There's one outside my door here at the moment. Big cobweb out there. Great big fat spider there. It's not black. It's like a grey colour. I've looked at the markings. Don't seem to be dangerous markings like the little skull. Well, they're black, those ones anyway. So I just left it there. It's not doing any harm. It's quite a large spider. It's a little fat thing. It's quite fat with little legs. And quite a large web just started going over my front door. Now, I know it's there, so I probably won't bump into it. I'm not sure that the post lady does. She'll have perhaps I can get that on film, because it's got a camera there. She could go to post a letter and then suddenly she would go like this when she realises she's walked into a spider's web. How awful. Let's just scroll down a little bit there, my darlings. Morning to Adam the plumber. Hello to you, sir. Morning to Mandy Davenport. Morning, Maddie. There's a club in South Bristol. It was called Towns Talk, and they would have theme nights, and one was called Grab a Granny Night for that reason. Is that right? Gosh, perhaps I should get like old clothes and go out there. Like old people's clothes and a bit of a wig and go out there, you know. I could do something like that. Morning to Mark Bowles this morning. Morning, Mark. Jeff, power has not been off since Saturday. Well, my light was on there today. I noticed the light was on, so I just assumed the power had gone off. Maybe they fixed it. I don't know. Morning to Peter Wright. Christopher Woodhouse, morning to you. Peter Wright has sent in a £2 super chat. Thank you, Peter. A tip already from young Peter Wright this morning. Which also means I'll give you 2 free raffle tickets for the chance to win our clock. We're doing a clock in the raffle tomorrow. We've also got a raffle today because it's the end of the month, which means it's Superdraw Day. Someone's going to win a little prize later. You can have a mug or you can have a bottle or some stickers. You won't want stickers, I suppose, or a key ring. But we'll do that a little bit later on in the show today. That's for our monthly Superdraw. With the Superdraw tickets, all the tickets you've been getting either as super chats or normal raffle tickets that we do for Monday. There you go, Peter. Okay. There you go, Peter, right there. Sorry, I can't twist my hand round, you see. That's why it's always a bit like that. There you go. All right. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that I can only, like, say I'm whole... Is that a thing? Perhaps I got something wrong with my wrist. I'm not very flexible. I was told that before. Yeah, all the tickets that you've been getting over the last month have all gone into here. Okay, they're all in there now. There's loads of them. and I'll be picking out one of those later. I've actually got to transfer that to the metal one, because what happens here is that there's a bit of a lip there and they get stuck under there. And if you're stuck under there, then that's a bit unfair because you won't have a chance of winning there. Morning to Paul Adamson. Morning, Paul. Adrian Richardson. Hello to you. Paul, look. Paul. It arrived. Yes. My power tester. Power tester. So basically, it tells you how much watts you're taking in, just for know what one of these is. And then I can look up on the internet and choose uninterrupted power supply. Paul's already suggested one that he thinks, but we've just got to check what's being drawn first. And then when power goes out, if power goes out, I can carry on for a given time, depending on what I've bought. You could go on for 10 hours if you want. That's going to cost you hundreds, probably thousands of pounds. But something that would keep me going for, say, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even as much as an hour, that would be perfect. So if it says, I don't know, 200 on there, then I need something that would give me 200 worth for an hour. Do you see what I mean? Is that explaining it all right? But in very, very basic terms. But there we go. That's what we'll do that. Gary Ross says you could dress up as an old granny, and that way you get what young 20-year-old fella. Oh no, too young. Too young, Gary. Full of crap. Absolutely full of crap at 20. No, thank you, mate. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, about 35. 32, 35. Thanks very much. Perhaps you could look now and find something for me. Hey, how are we doing on likes? 19 already. You're quick with those today. All right, one more like and I'll show you some delightful photos. All right, so that's my new gadget. I watched another episode of Greenleaf last night. That's on Netflix, and it's basically Dynasty in a church. It's like this, one of those, you know, those American churches where you have the pastor on there and he's walking around on a huge stage. They've got the family sitting behind him, and then now and again the choir comes out and all those beautiful costumes and the white collars and all that business. And then in front you've got the audience. Loads and loads of people in these beautiful churches they've got in America. There's a lot of money involved in that. I don't think it's about religion at all. It seems to be like a money-making activity. And basically that's it. And it's about what the family get up to and what have you. There's one particular bloke who's absolutely gorgeous. Is anyone watching that? Greenleaf on Dynasty. Greenleaf on Netflix. It really is. It's Dynasty in a church. I'm loving it. Anyone watching that at all? Do let us know. Okay. So that's what I've been doing. And we've got 23 likes now. Excellent. Oh, now what's fun things to do with TP-Link Wi-Fi plug with energy monitor. You've got one of those. Yeah, I've got one of those. I got one of those as well, but I don't really use that anymore. Actually, I could have used it to check the power now that I think about it. Couldn't I? But this is about 12 quid. That's all it was, 12 quid. And I won't leave it in place. I'm just checking to see how much I need. Then I'll get the exact machine that I need. Do you call it a machine? But it's basically a box with batteries in it, basically. That's what this UPS thing is. A box with batteries in it. Good morning to William Chisholm. Good morning to young William this morning. Right, let's show you these lovely pictures that people have been sending in. We'll start off with John Parrish's pictures this morning. There we go. Now, where's our story attached to those? There he is. Okay. Right, there we go. So that there is an evening meal somewhere in France. Me and my one and only love, Sherry. There she is. Is she up yet? That's somewhere in France. And that is John Parrish. He says, I've done a bit of shopping in Denver, Colorado. He's buying a couple of guns there, darling, to protect his caravan. Perhaps you should be pointing them out the window at the owner of the caravan site where you are, John. All right, John. Excellent. Thank you, John, for sending in those wonderful pictures. As always, we've got a picture sent in by Mick Davenport. His latest creation, his cream horns. Look at those. Oh, yes, please, Mick Davenport. Mick Davenport's cream horns. How delicious do they look? Yes, please. They got more cream in than the cream apple turnovers in Sainsbury's. Or was it? No, it was apple, wasn't it? I bought out 2 apple turnovers in Sainsbury's day before yesterday. Took them up to my mate's house. One for him, one for me, but he didn't want them, so I had both. Basically, all pastry. Very, very small amount of what I would call tomato paste, which they couldn't have spread much thinner on the bottom of this thing. You bit into it. Where's the apple? I went, I got a taste then. And I looked in the little hole where I'd bitten in, and there's this really thin layer of apple on the bottom. And that's the good part of it, isn't it? The apple. Waste of time that was. Nice one. Anyway, thank you, Mick. And finally, a couple of beautiful pictures from Steve Carter. May I ask, Steve, do you enhance these some way? Are they in some way enhanced? Just wondered, because they really look beautiful, your photos. That's a picture of... do that other one first. Chesil Beach, Chesil, Chesil Beach in Portland, apparently. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's like a bench there. It's like someone's bench or something like that. And that picture there is Lulworth Cove in Dorset. Looks where the looks like an exit to water or something there, doesn't it? Perhaps a river, a little stream that's coming out there. But you all send in such wonderful pictures, and thank you very much for those. I really think it adds to the show, showing bits and pieces that people have created. So thanks very much for those. And as always, gang, if you want to send anything in, I'd love you to send stuff in. We can show it on the show. Just send it to that email. Oh, sorry, that's the PayPal there, isn't it? 1 minute. Just send it into that email address there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and we show them in exchange for likes, usually. We don't really have any problems getting the likes. Oh, we did on Saturday, actually. We didn't get to the amount of likes Saturday, did we? You were probably testing me. I bet it'll show it anyway. No, because if I did that, there'd be no point. Why is my nose always itching when I come in here? It's this side. It's one side. Perhaps there's a little ulcer on there. Could there be an ulcer on there or something like that? You know, I could do a George Bond, something like that. I don't know. Are you still picking your nose? I don't know if he's with us this morning, is he? Anyway, Steve does indeed enhance them a bit. I've been taking photos for about 20 years now. Well, you've obviously got that down to a T, mate. Look fantastic. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Gary Ross says, lovely view of Suicide Point. Is that where they all jump off, is it? Is it? I think you're very brave to commit suicide. People say, it's the easy way out. Any of you, do you think you could kill yourselves? Do you think you could do that? Jump off a tall building? Jump in the water and stay under? It's actually quite difficult to stay underwater, isn't it? Or jump off a chair and hang yourself? Could you do that? Because I couldn't. Easy way out my foot. No. You've got to be very brave to kill yourself, I think. Very sad, really. How people do that, really. Right, we've got lots and lots of stories. Do you think it's a hair in my nose? It could well be. It could well be, couldn't it? Where I've done that bzzz thing, cutting hairs out my nose. Perhaps I've shoved it up too far. It could well be a hair in my nose, you know. Oh, Andy V. Thank you, Andy V. If this show ever stops, I might commit suicide. I could understand that, actually. I could... But if I do, I promise you I'll film the whole event. You know, that should get the numbers up a little bit more, shouldn't it, really? Huh? Itching means you're itching for a fight. No, nose itching is something... Does it mean money's... Oh, someone's talking about you. Someone's talking about you. Rachel says, at least I would get to fly before I die, jumping off a cliff. Oh, you don't want to be doing that, Rachel, my love. Don't be doing any. I hope Gemma Collins never does something like that. Oh my God, there'll be no water left in the sea, will there? That'll all... Can you just imagine? I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't have to close down the ice rink when she fell over on that. I did feel sorry for her. Do you remember that? About a year ago, wasn't it? She did that dancing on ice thing with that blooming Philip I'm on every TV show that there is possibly going, Schofield. Philip Schofield. And Holly Willoughby. Every single show. Virtually every... I think the only thing they're not on is the news. And he's been on that recently, talking about his depression and anxiety. Oh, what a shame. You know, every opportunity he's on that bleeding telly and he's... Why can't he just be happy with one show a day like I am? Oh, no, I did 2 yesterday. Morning to Heidi. Morning, Heidi Young. Morning. My ears. No, it's my nose that's itchy again, Heidi. And it's this side. I think probably DJ Chris is absolutely right. That there's a hair up my nose somewhere with my buzzing thing, because I cut the hairs, bzz, and I think when they grow back, they're hard on the edge. You know, if you let a hair grow, it goes soft on the end, doesn't it? I need to cut my hair, incidentally. I usually do it on a Wednesday or a Thursday, but I haven't got my iPad with me, and what I have to do is put that in front, and I put the phone behind me, and I FaceTime myself, but I haven't got it with me at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, and talking of Gemma Collins, someone sent this in. Gary 2 Tickets Ross sent this in. It's in the Irish News. The Irish... I don't think we've done a story from the Irish News before. Excellent. It's good to get your news from all sorts of papers. Don't rely on one newspaper because you only get one side of it. If you rely on the Daily Mail, you'll probably be a bit right. If you rely on the Daily Mirror, you'll be further left. You know, you need to read all the papers, and then you get sort of a balanced view of what's going on in the world. Anyway, in today's Super Sorrowway Irish News, it says Gemma Collins has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, which makes perfect sense as it's 2020 and society is currently up the creek without a paddle. God. Gemma was nominated by the Romford Research Institute for Peace, which sounds vaguely legitimate, but don't be fooled, this institution was established by YouTube pranksters Josh Peters and Archie Manners for the sole purpose of proposing Gemma Collins as the purveyor of peace to North Korea. Oh, can you just imagine her having a row with that woman who reads the news on the North Korea station? Have you seen her? She's scary, mate. You don't want to bump into her on a dark day. Have you seen her? She gets very excited. Try and see if you can find that on YouTube. North Korea news lady or something like that on YouTube. She gets very, very excited. I'd like to see her and Gemma Collins having a row. I don't think Gemma Collins would win that. She'd just burst into tears. Oh, just dumped me again. Oh. It says, if you look at what peace really means, take, for example, her on-off relationship with James Argent, a.k.a. Arge. No one died. It was a conflict that did appear to be resolved peacefully, and we at the Romford Research Institute think this is a great demonstration of world peace. Just believes the businesswoman and reality TV star is a front runner. So there we are. She's been put up for a Nobel Peace Prize. I wonder if Nobel Peace Prize. I wonder if she'll win that. So here's Gemma. There's a picture of Gemma today. Former. I don't know how much makeup she's got on this one. Dear me. One moment, please. There's a picture of little Gemma there. Bless her. I say little Gemma. You know, why have I got a picture of me there? There we are. There's Gemma. Let me see if I can find that North Korea news lady. See if I can find her. Oh, there she is. There she is. Oh, no, she's been replaced. Apparently she's been replaced. And she sits there like this, look. Now, we're not being nasty. I'm just showing you what she looks like. There you go. Don't you find she looked a bit scary, didn't she? And she gets very, very excited. She's been replaced by a younger model. I bet that's made her happy. Dear me, what's her name? She's North Korea's pink lady. Oh, here we are. What's the story on her? I wonder what her name was. Oh, it's in the Telegraph. Accept. Start your free trial. We're not paying for it, dear. Nope, I can't get the story. No, I'm not paying for anything, dear. Nope, okay, we can't see that story because it says I'll have to pay for it. God's sake, man. It's not like I'm asking you to pay for this, is it? Hey, why should I pay if you're paying? That's it. Anyway, there we are. I think that thing's been made up. Heidi says, peace. I wish she'd give us peace. I know what you mean. Why is she on the telly all the time? Why is she on there? We want to see people with talent, dear. Talented people. Thank you. We've got a weather forecast for Tech Sparky. Today, forecast for weather, cold, wet and damp. Now raining in Cornwall. Oh, dear. Raining in Cornwall. Never mind, darling. Never mind. Right, what stories have I got for you today, then? Now, we've already talked about the grannies, okay? The grannies going over to the Gambia, looking for a bit of fun with the young Gambian men. Okay? But here's the question for you. What would you do if this happened to you, right? So you're sitting there. Sorry, ladies, it's a men one, this one. You're sitting there, boys. Perhaps you're on your own. You think, oh, do you know what? I think I'll pay for it today. You know, it. I'm so a bit obsessed with it today, aren't I? Dragonflies, grannies, and now men sitting there, whatever age you are. Perhaps you're in a hotel room somewhere, or perhaps you're at home, whatever, and that's it. You've rung up an escort. An escort. What would you do? In the Daily Mirror this morning, since joining the army 6 years ago, James has found it difficult to hold down a relationship. His job means he's always away for long periods at a time, which makes dating and finding someone special extremely tricky. However, he missed the physical sides of a relationship, so decided to try hiring escorts, saying he makes the best of a very unique situation. We don't have to go into the nitty-gritty of it. You just get the general idea, don't you? Okay? He said his fun nights have become part of his normal routine, and he's never thought too much of it until one evening when things got very, very weird, when one of his anonymous bookings ended up being his best mate's mum. So presumably he doesn't know who's going to turn. I always thought you would get a picture or something like that, but apparently not according to this. The site he used saw him order an escort just using photos of the woman's body, but you couldn't see the face. He told the Daily Mirror online, using escorts means I can get stuff with no strings attached. In my mind, I'm making the best of a very unique situation. I always book escorts, no matter where I'm stationed with the army. When I last came home after being injured, I couldn't wait to book someone. I was buzzing. I've always had a thing for the MILF look. MILF. I can't tell you what that stands for, I'm afraid, boys and girls. It involves a rude word. So I decided to go for a woman who had a sexy headmistress vibe. She didn't show her face in the photos, but her body and what she said she'd do on her profile was enough to grab my attention. They set a time and a place, and 45 minutes later, a car pulled up. But James was horrified when he opened the door. He said, I opened the door and who was stood in front of me? My best friend's mum. He claims that while he had no idea what to do, the friend's mum took control of the situation and acted as if they didn't know each other. He said she proceeded with the appointment like we didn't know each other. I was obviously attracted to her. It was a weird turn of events, but it actually added to the excitement. You want what you can't have, and I knew I shouldn't carry on. There wasn't exactly much talking go on. We got right onto it, no messing around. However, they did address the issue after they finished and with a mutual understanding that had to be a secret. Is that what she said? It's our little secret. We did make a clear agreement that it would have to be kept a secret. No one could know. People could be hurt, you see. Absolutely, it needs to be a secret. People, there are things, you know. There are things that shouldn't go any further, I think. And people can get very badly hurt. Very, very badly hurt with little secrets and things like that. Sometimes it's best to say nothing. A lot of people find out little bits of information about people left, right and centre, and they use it as a lever to get things out of them or upset them. Or, you know, they keep it in the back of the mind, so when him and her or her and it, whatever, when they have a row, they can bring it up again a little bit later on. Horrible. Some things need to be kept a secret. Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact I've seen her on several occasions since would also make it 100 times worse, he says, for obvious reasons. But to make things even more horrifyingly awkward, James knows that his pal uses the same escort agency. Perhaps he'll get his mum come over then. Why go anywhere else? Keep it in the family. Just keep, well, not so much a family, but keep it within sort of a friends thing. We could all be getting people's mums come round. Couldn't we, really? Is it something that you want to do, ladies? You've got a little eye on your son's best friend, have you? I know. Best to say nothing. Your son got a really good-looking best friend, has he? Eh? Oh, it all goes on this show, doesn't it? We've taken a real turn for... Now, what's the word? What's Gary's British chat show? What's that word? Smut. We've become a little bit too smutty on this show. I think we need to go back to cooking and TV programmes, don't you? It's become a bit smutty. I'm sorry it has done. I don't know how wild we've gone down this road. I really don't. Is it turning people on or turning people off? I'm not quite sure. I'm not so sure about all this smut going on, dear. Gary Ross, Viva Street. Jason is a good site, I hear. See, they're even telling each other what sites to do. Jason wants to know, where do I find these sites? Just imagine if I started using one of those agencies. and my mate's mum came round. Oh, dear. I think that's hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious, that. Oh, dear. Good morning to Maureen. Hello, Maureen. There's a new series on BBC iPlayer, The Indian Doctor, 1963. That's when I was born, in Welsh Wales. Oh, hang on. It's a comedy drama. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Maureen. I've got so much to watch on the telly at the moment, Maureen. I'm having trouble keeping up. I watched only one episode of Land's Girls. I think you asked about that yesterday. Land's Girls. I've only watched one of that so far. Now we've got Indian Doctor. So much to watch at the moment. Netflix is a great place. Good morning to Michael Pullman. Morning to you. Hello to young Michael Pullman there in Australia. Gary says some nice Romanian girls on there. Is that right? Oh, dear. Oh, Heidi, where are we going with this, my love? We need to get a bit cleaner again, I think. We need to be a cleaner. Asda. There you go. We've gone from escorts to Asda. Perhaps, I think one day you'll be able to get escorts in Asda. Or on Amazon. Amazon Prime. Yeah, they will come round to your house. Free. You'll have to pay them, but it'll be free delivery. There won't be any travel costs if you get an escort from Amazon Prime. Eh? Would you have someone not turn up, not knowing what they look like? I'd want to see a face, wouldn't you? I want to see if you want to see some of these youngsters. They send around body pictures. They don't send their face. They send bits of their body around. Don't do it for me, I'm afraid. I want to see a face, don't you? Do you want to see a face? I don't know. In the Daily Mirror today, again, Asda has got a new aisle in 359 of its supermarkets. Now, this is to do with the whole vegan thing, which has been gathering pace big time over the last 2 years. I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian, almost vegan. Well, when you say almost, you either are, I mean, it's like being dead. You're either dead or you're not dead. You're not, well, actually, no, you could be almost dead, couldn't you? You could be almost dead and then recover. So you were never dead. Yeah, so I suppose all right. I'm kind of almost vegan, but not quite, because I do have a bit of cheese. Ice cream. That being said, there's a really nice vegan ice cream in the Co-op. Comes in a little. The shape of the packet is like a 50 pence, like a hexagon. And it's really nice. I mean, really nice. It's really creamy and it's vegan. No dairy in it at all. Good for people with the dairy lactose intolerant, isn't it? That's really nice. Yogurt I have, and cheese. I've tried various different vegan cheeses. Oh my God, some of them are so vile. It's oh, I haven't got my light on here. Done it again. Hang on. There you go. I've illuminated myself a little bit better. Can you see me a bit better now? Hello? I keep forgetting to turn that little light on. Perhaps I should just leave it on. The one up in Lincolnshire just comes on automatically. So here we are. Asda looks set to become... They're jumping on this back. They've seen a market there now, you see. Asda looks set to become the first UK supermarket with a dedicated vegan aisle, devoting 2 bays entirely to plant-based products. It's already started. The new plant-based aisle is aimed at making Asda a destination source for the country's vegans. They've seen this here. They've jumped on this, and good, that's what business is all about. They see something coming along, right, let's try and grab that. Well, they're going to do it with this. All the vegans will be going there. Maybe not buying the cheese, I don't know. As I say, I've tried vegan cheese before. That's really hit and miss. There's one that ain't too bad. They sell it in Sainsbury's. Oh, Christ, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now, sorry. Oh, it was right on the tip of my tongue then. Anyone knows what the vegan Violite, that's it, Violite. That's the vegan cheese in Sainsbury's. That's not too bad. But be warned of trying some of these vegan cheeses. I've gone into Holland & Barrett, do loads of different ones. And I've bought stuff in there, taken a slice and chucked the thing away. Vile. Absolutely vile, some of this vegan cheese stuff. Anyway, back to the Asda story. They got a new aisle in a lot of its shops. One of the bays will be filled with savoury products, including proteins and cooking sauces. The other for sweet food and snacks, reports the Bristol Live. As the buying manager said, we understand that customers want a quick and simple shopping experience, and this shouldn't be restricted by dietary requirements. Being vegan is actually quite difficult. If you're buying stuff that's already made, you've got to stand there and read all the ingredients, and anything at all that's anything to do with an animal, they put it back. Honey, completely out of the question. No, because it's something to do with bees. It's come from bees. They won't touch anything that's anything at all to do with animals. It says, by merchandising all our vegan items together, we hope to save customers time and offer inspiration, whether those following a plant-based diet or those looking to reduce their meat consumption. They've got 104 new products that are there now, including Asda meal pots, as well as items from brands such as Mrs. Crimble's Vigo, 2 exclusive Galaxy flavours, and an exclusive new falafel mix from Bosch. They've other stuff they've got. Pastel lentil bowl, £1.50. It's not bad, is it, eh? Asda rice bowl, £1.50. Bosch falafel mix, £1.99. Galaxy mint and Galaxy cookie crumble, £2.50. So that's quite expensive there. They say their searches for vegan lines on its website have risen 275% in a year. So this is gathering momentum, this whole vegan thing there. Tesco have also announced plans to boost its sale of meat alternatives by 300% within 5 years. So they're all jumping on this. My brother-in-law became vegetarian as well in January. It was just something he tried out as a little experiment. He only meant to do it for a month and he just carried on. And he's still vegan as well. Vegetarian as well. So interesting on that one there. All right. Chatting to each other there. One moment, please. Right, okay, chatting to each other. Good. Subway, staying with the food. Subway described the strangest orders they've ever made. This one in The Sun this morning. Subway workers have described the strangest orders they've ever made for customers and includes some weird and wacky creations. I must say I've never really ordered anything strange. I mean, when I used to have McDonald's, I used to ask for them not to put the little pickle on the top. Years ago, this is. In the end, I gave up because it used to take so long to cook your thing to order. I used to order the thing and then pick the thing off the top and chuck it away, you know. How many people chuck that pickle away? I'm sure it's a lot. I don't really see many people eating that nasty bit of pickle on the top, innit? Anyway, Subway is well known for its range of menu options, including chicken teriyaki, meatball Mariana, and the classic BLT. But fans can customise sandwiches known as subs by selecting different types of bread, meat, cheese, fish, and salad-based fillings. I quite like the salad one. I love that with bit cheese. So I love the long one. I haven't had one for ages. It's got to be over a year since I had a Subway. I love the long one with toasted cheese in it. They don't put much in, do they? They don't put much cheese in there. Toasted cheese in it, then there'd be like chopped up onions, chopped up lettuce, chopped up peppers. What else do I... tomato sauce. I think something else. I can't remember what else I have in there now. Cucumbers and that. That's what I generally have, and I have that toasted. Well, they toasted cheese anyway. One recent Reddit thread reveals some of the more unusual concoctions workers have been asked to put together, including a mayonnaise sandwich. Oh, no, dear. A mayonnaise sandwich. Did you ever have a sugar sandwich at school? Or when you were little? Have a sugar sandwich. That's why there's so many people walking around with no teeth now, dear. They're all eating sugar sandwiches. Most of the responses appear to be from the chain's US staff, but it's likely fans here in the UK have asked for similar options too. Here's some of the things that people have asked for. One worker says he had a regular customer who liked his Subway toasted for so long, it was basically charcoal, completely black. Now, I had a pizza last night, which I slightly burnt. I slightly burnt the pizza, but it wasn't too bad. And I do tend to do stuff myself. Well done. I mean, really well done. Really well done. But it's not charcoal. One bloke, he wanted his Subway toasted for so long that it was basically charcoal. He wrote, first time he came in while I was on shift, I pulled his sandwich out of the toaster and he told me to put it back in again. And again and again. Apparently, he really liked the taste of burnt everything. Subway does offer vegetarian and vegan options. In the UK, it has Veggie Delight, which I've tried before. Meatless. I didn't know about this. Meatless meatball Mariana. Didn't know that. And a vegan patty. But some people just want the salad. So I'll have the cheese and usually just the salad. That's fine. It's nice. Nice big roll like that. Another bloke wrote, I worked at Subway a long time ago and a guy would order 2 full bags of lettuce on his sandwich every day. Just 2 bags of lettuce in the bread. Whatever. For others, it appears none of the fillings will satisfy them, like a sandwich simply stuffed full of Subway's condiments and sauces. One worker commented that they were asked to make a 6-inch sub with just condiments. All of them. All of the condiments in the sandwich. Or whatever, I suppose. In the UK, and it goes on about the different sauces they had. Another one asked for a sandwich with just olives. Wanted an olive sandwich. It's strange. A number of staff members said customers regularly ask for just cheese, no dressings or salads, just a simple cheese roll. That's not particularly unusual. Sometimes not even toasted. Funny, isn't it? But there you go. I mean, you have what you like, don't you? Really? You got any unusual things like that? Not the same as going to Greggs, though, is it? We like Greggs. We like the Greggs vegan sausage roll and the cheese and onion pasties. And they're not dear in Greggs, are they? That's the thing. Subway, I think when you get the long roll and you've had a cup of tea as well, you're looking over a fiver, aren't you, in there? And it's a bit dear, isn't it? Jason Hughes, don't eat anything green, only dead animals, don't you? Jason only eats dead animals surrounded in bits of pastry. Oh, dear me. East Coast UK, steak and cheese, Southwest sauce and sweet chilli sauce. I don't really say, is that an unusual thing? That's quite a normal thing that you're eating there, isn't it, East Coast? Nothing sort of unusual about that. Yeah, we have what we like. Peter Wright, Iceland now do an 8-pack of vegan sausage rolls. Yes, they do a lot of the Greggs. In fact, Jason Hughes, I think, has got a load of the Greggs Iceland stuff in his freezer, just in case of lockdowns and things like this. Now, what about this boy, Monster Son? In the Sun again this morning, a work-shy son hacked his parents to death. How well do you know your children? Can I suggest, parents, that you go and check your children's room for axes and electric saws, knives? Because you don't know when you've got your back turned. This couple, not here anymore. This bloke is 32, allegedly butchered his mum, 55, and dad, 61, to get his hands on a $500,000 life insurance after they threatened to cut off his allowance. Just awful people around, isn't there? Killing their parents for the money. The layabout student is accused of murdering his parents when he returned home to Knoxville, Tennessee for the Thanksgiving holiday in 2016. Prosecutors say he knifed his dad 40 times while his mum was out grocery shopping, and when she returned, stabbed her 30 times. That's not all, he then sent about the grisly task of dismembering the corpses, it's alleged. The prosecutor described in horrifying detail how he separated their limbs from their torsos, snapped the lady's skull from the topmost vertebrae in her spine, then boiled her head in a pot on the stove to his own mother. Boiled her head. It's something sick. Seriously wrong with these people. He then boiled her head in a pot on the stove while other parts were soaked in acid in blue plastic containers. The killer put Lisa's body parts in one and his dad's in another, and then covered them with a corrosive substance and left them to liquefy into some sort of diabolical stew of human remains. Then the killer took Lisa's head and carried it downstairs and took it into the kitchen. He got out a stock pot, placed her head in the pot, filled it with liquid, carried it over to the stove, covered it, turned on the stove and left it there to cook. The prosecutor then claimed this bloke planned to use his father's severed hand to cover up his own fingerprints at the family's gore-soaked home. Oh, my Lord. Isn't that awful? When they went into the house, they found bottles of peroxide, bleach, acid and rubbing alcohol, and could still smell the stench of death mixed with the chemicals. Oh, God blimey. Isn't that awful? Isn't that a dreadful story? Well, you make sure you check your children's bedrooms, boys and girls, because you don't know. Be standing there cooking their dinner tonight only to have a knife shoved in your back and then there'd be bits of you. What an awful way to go. Morning, Adrian Richardson has just finished his breakfast. He's put me off now. Well, it's probably a good thing, Adrian. Won't arm you to lose about 25 stone, will it, my love? You should be thanking me, not moaning, dear. I should be getting a payment here from Slimming World, helping you lose some weight. I'll do one of those stories every morning. Tune in, just for you. Just for you. 25 stone. I think that's a reasonable amount to ask you to lose, isn't it, Adrian? Horrible human. Isn't it horrible, Gary? Some of the stories that you see in a paper, you just read these things and you think, can that really actually happen? But it does. Adrian writes, my cat likes playing with its vegan stuffed mouse. No, it wouldn't. It would walk away from a vegan stuffed mouse. They don't like it. Isn't it fun? Oh, Gary the cat came to see me yesterday. Gary the cat. I don't know what his name is. Big ginger tomcat comes to see me. He don't stand outside the front door now. No, he just walks in. He just walks in now. Meow, meow. All round my legs. Literally walks into the kitchen. Like he's moved in. And he walked through, had a little walk around the garden at the back there, and then come in meowing its head up. Meow! Meow! Then I put some food down. He scoffed that. Susie finished the food. That's it. He's gone. He was gone. He's only coming in for something to eat, isn't he? Sounds like Dennis Nielsen. Well, no, I mean, Dennis Nielsen was even worse. He did more than 2, didn't he? Can you imagine killing your own parents? It's just horrible, isn't it? What a dreadful thing to do. The Crown. Are you ready for The Crown? Series 4. It's coming soon, boys and girls. Coming soon, November. But before The Crown, we've got, according to DJ Chris, Star Trek Discovery comes in just a couple of weeks on Thursday the 15th. Is that Netflix, Chris, or Amazon Amazon Television, whatever it is? Star Trek, October the 15th, coming in November. The next series of The Crown, which I absolutely love. The Crown have released a collection of first-look images showing the royal family thrown into an era of political change ahead of Series 4's release in November. The images show Emma Corrin as the Princess Diana making a glamorous entrance at the Royal Opera House in 1981 alongside her husband Charles, played by Josh O'Connor, while another features Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher. Now, I've got a thing for Gillian Anderson now. I've seen her in a couple of things recently. More recently, The Fall. She is such a good actress. I never realised how good she was. She was all right on The X-Files. I'm glad in a way that The X-Files finished. That lost my attention eventually because I just had not a clue what was going on in it. I'd be watching this programme and I'm like, what is happening here? Just couldn't work out what was going on anymore. So I gave up on that. Then we didn't see her for ages and ages. And the last couple of years she's been appearing in all sorts of things. She's blooming good. And in a way, I'm glad that The X-Files finished so that she's been able to do these other things, you know. But here's the one who's... Oh, hang on a minute. I've just been texted from Gary Butler. Sorry, we need to break into this for a newsflash coming through from nephew Gary Butler. 1 moment, please. Where is What's Face? There it is. What's Face? What is this? I can't show that, Gary. I can't show that. You know I can't show that. So you want to see the stuff he sends me? My own nephew. Right, anyway, here we are. There's the one playing... there's the Charles and the Diana on there. Okay. Didn't he play Charles in the last series? I think he did, didn't he? Oh, wow. Yeah, well, there's the one playing Diana. Wow. And there's Charles again. Look at that. I'll zoom right in on her face. She actually looks more like one of the Nolans than Diana, don't you think? One of the Nolans? I'm in the mood. Lovely ladies. I worked with them once or twice. Now, here it is. Here's the one I want to show you. I've been wanting to show you this all night long. Here's Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher. You ready for this? Look at that. Wow. That is something else, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And I just know she's going to do a good job of that. Amazing. The Crown Series 4 will be released on Netflix on Sunday, November the 15th. Oh, I'm going to make a note of that, dear. We aren't going to miss that. Oh, I might have to cancel the bingo that night. Might have to cancel the bingo. November the 15th, The Crown. Let's write that down. That'll come round so quickly, just like Christmas. Here we are, 4 weeks away from Halloween. I've got my Halloween backdrop, don't worry, it's all ready. We're months ahead, dear. Months. I've got the Christmas backdrops ready. Everything's in place, don't worry. I haven't got the idents done yet, the little bits at the beginning and the end of the show. That I have to do that closer to the time. I just can't wait for that series to go. If you've not seen any of The Crown yet, do have a look. I'll leave that story there. Do have a look on Netflix and watch 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3, and then you'll be ready for 4. You've got a few weeks to watch that. It's worth watching. Really worth watching there. Okay. The David fella from the X-Files also done the Red Shoe Diaries. Oh, I don't know what that is. Red Shoe Diaries. Red Shoe Diaries. Don't know what that is, I'm afraid. John Parrish wants boiled head with mash. Oh, no, dear. Poor lady. What a way to go, innit? East Coast says his dad said boil in a bag, so he boiled the old bag. Shocking. Chris Woodhouse. Okay, Star Trek Discovery is going to be on Oh, I nearly swore. Netflix. You can imagine what I call it to my mates, can't you? Netflix. Morning to Terry Turner. How could anyone do that to their own parents? I know, Terry. It's just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Alrighty, now what do we got? 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 more stories. I'll tell you what, shall we do this month's Superdraw now? Alright, let's do this month's Superdraw game. Right, now, I've got to be a bit clever here. I'm just going to empty this week's ticket. I see I use this bowl for other things as well as the tickets, such as my stamps. I have to hide my stamps, right? Because my mate comes up here. Have you got a stamp and an envelope? Every single time he's up here, wants another stamp. So I have to hide these now. Terrible, isn't it? Oh, it's only one? Yeah, and that'd be the one that suddenly, someone's won a prize. I've got no stamps left. So you have to wait another day. Exposing my listeners to anxiety over their prizes. Shocking. Anyway, someone's going to win a prize now. Right, here's all the tickets that we've been collecting. Right, and this is what we don't use that because you see tickets get stuck underneath. So we've got to get those out so that everyone has the same chance. This is a month's worth of tickets here. Oh, I can see one there from Heidi Young. Heidi. A lot of Sean pies here. Where's Sean? You're right, Sean. There we go. That's all the tickets there. There's everyone. That's everyone there. And that one there. Empty. Empty. Here's all the tickets. Look at them. Massive. There's about 85 million tickets in here now. And someone's about to win. All right. Stand by, everyone. Right, let's mix them all up. All different colours because we're not racist on this programme. So we've got multicoloured tickets today. Yeah. Blue tickets matter. Green tickets matter. We've got them all in here, my love. It's like the United Nations but in a bowl. Ready? All right, come on then. Let's mix them up a little bit. Thank you very much. Jeff's been watering the plants. How much longer are you there for, Jeff? I think I'm coming up later today. Either today or tonight. Might be a late night arrival, like 1 in the morning. I haven't decided what time I'm going to leave yet. You've got the opportunity to leave sort of early afternoon. I can't leave late afternoon because then you get the traffic, and plus I'm usually asleep at that time. So for me to be on the road at like 5 p.m. isn't good, really. So it might be early evening. I'm thinking I might get there about 11 tonight. Sort of around 11. Somewhere between 11 and 1 I'll probably arrive. Okay. You're home. Oh, you're going home. Oh, so you're going and I'm coming. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I'll look after your plant. We've got a load of bad weather coming. Is that why you're going home? Have you seen the weather forecast? Bleeding freezing, mate. Honestly, that's the weather forecast is looking freezing. And it. Come on, I'm going to give these a really good mix because there's so many of them in here. Oh, I love it. Now you get to choose a prize. Okay, you get to choose your prize. You can't have the clock. You can have a mug or a water bottle. Or, I mean, you can have stickers and things if you want. I don't think you're going to want one of those. Not for this prize there. Have a safe trip, Jeff, won't you? Do you know that works out? Not that, you know, it's nice that you're there when I'm there, but for at least one of us to be there is good, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Keeping an eye on things. Right, come on then, let's do this draw. Let's get a drum roll ready, my darlings. All your tickets are in there. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Tell you, out of all the raffles I do, this is the most exciting one because there's like a month's worth of tickets here. A month's worth of tickets here. All right. Ticket number 95. And ticket number 95 is Sean Pye. That's not funny. I pulled out another one of his a moment ago. Sean Pye. Ticket number 95, Sean Pye. You've won. You've won, Sean. You can have a water bottle or a mug. Let us know what you want. He'll probably be watching the catch up a little bit later on. He might be sitting there quietly on the side. Sean sometimes sits there quietly on the side. So Sean wins. Nice one, Sean. Very pleased for you. Well done. Round of applause, everyone. Okay. And that's your last you'll ever see. Look how many tickets there are. Watch. There you go, all in there. Right. There we go. Now, if anyone comes on at this point, right? If anyone comes on now, because I know I can trust you. If anyone comes on now, not Sean, you know, but if anyone comes on now and says, oh, has he done the raffle yet? Right? Yes, he has. Who won? Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Make him watch the show. I mean, you've been good enough to sit there waiting, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? These people, they go off and they come back at their own wheel, dear. Make them watch the recording of the... You'll have to take the show later. Then you'll know. Can't you tell us now? No. No. Can we have a drawer out the bin? No, you can't have a drawer out the bin. Oh, it's all empty. Oh, like my wallet, love. I've had no cash now. I can't believe I've got 10... It's either a 10 or a £20 note in my wallet that has been in there since April. Everything's like Apple Pay now. Everything. We were forced to do it, weren't we? Forced, unfortunately. Good morning to the delightful Mick Mowers, who has got his clock. Excellent, Mick. I hope that's ticking away from you. Where have you put it, Mick? Is it in your bedroom? Is it? Oh, so have you got a wife, Mick? I don't know if you've got a wife. Are you with a lady or on your own or what? Oh, you don't have to answer that. It's up to you, my darling. But, you know, I can see you sort of putting that little clock in your bedroom. Somewhere where when you open your eyes in the morning, the first thing you see is my happy, smiling face. Isn't it, eh? Is it? Is that what it is? This is what Mick has received in the post. Okay, he did get another one, and it didn't work, and he didn't even tell me. He was that good. He wasn't going to. I know you weren't going to tell me, Mick, because you thought, well, you know, I've got it. I'm not too bothered about that. I won't tell him. Save him a bit of money. It was my sister that told me. And you know, she says it because she was quite pleased. It sounded like she was quite pleased. Here, I heard that Mick's clock ain't working. She was pleased to say it, you know, that she sort of found something out that's wrong. She loves finding things. Like a lot of you on here, you like to find out things that are not right, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Anyway. That's what Mix won. We're giving one of those away tomorrow on the show for our super. There's a lot of prizes going out this week. Our super chat raffle tomorrow, boys and girls. Okay, is for that. So when people send us a £1 tip, as someone sent us £2 tip today, I'll give you a free raffle ticket for each of those pounds, and then you'll go in the draw tomorrow for one of our clocks. I don't have too many of those done. They're quite a little bit expensive. It's probably the most. Well, it is the most expensive thing. No, it wasn't. The hooded tops were really expensive, but that's just how it is. Okay, Andy, pay full attention. You know I said clock, dear. You dear, look at you looking for faults again, dear. Looking for faults there. Okay, I'm sure Mick will probably fix that and just sell it on eBay. Good luck to him. That's what I say. Lilly Allen in the Daily Star this morning. Now, she's the one that's always crying, isn't she? She's always crying her eyes out and screaming her head off about something she don't like of her own country. Well, you know these people, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's what I say. I'm sick of these people. Look at one. This one, she's going on about, of all things in the UK, racism. Now, I've got to say, in all my years of DJing and doing some stuff like that, I don't think I've come across it virtually zero racism in this country. These people go out and look for it. I'm telling you that now. In the Scouts and in school, we had nicknames for people. And I had my own nickname, Bucktooth and Bender. They were my nicknames. That's how it was. Do I consider that homophobic or anything like that? No, I don't. It was just a nickname. And we had one boy in Scouts. I think there was only one. But I'm just trying to think, did he have a nickname? I don't think he did. He didn't even have a nickname. There's probably a little bit of it around. But Lilly Allen. Oh, I mean, who is she? She sings a couple of songs, that's it. Well, she's moving out of the UK. Okay, bye-bye, Lily. Off you go, darling. Off you go. Lilly Allen has ditched the UK for a new life in America. In America? Oh, is there no racism in America then? Is that right, love? You're on another planet, love, you are. Just turn on the news stories and you see all the racism going on in the States. Not everywhere, but quite a lot of it. I would say certainly more than here. I've heard racism in the States. I was standing in a queue. Oh, Christ, some years ago now. I was standing in a queue in New York, waiting to go into a nightclub. And the racism was not against black people. It was against Puerto Ricans. That race. It was against them. And I heard it in the queue. While I was standing there, I thought, I can't believe you're saying this. I was quite shocked because I always thought it was a very encompassing country, you know. Everyone's sort of fairly happy. Not the case. It wasn't, because I heard it in the queue. And I thought, wow. I didn't say anything, of course, you know. But, yeah, she's gone to a new life in America with her husband, David Harbour, putting strain on her co-parenting plan with her ex, Sam Cooper, apparently. Lilly Allen is said to have ditched the UK for good in favour of starting a new life in America. The No Shame songstress is reported to be moving to the States full-time after tying the knot with Stranger Things actor David Harbour. The decision comes after Lilly claimed the UK was full of racism and misogyny last year. She deleted her Twitter account back in December after a furious backlash over the comments. See, you see what I mean there? So she's one of those people, she thinks she can say what she wants, but when she gets the response, she doesn't like it. She don't like it. Oh, I just turn off my Twitter then. The singer claimed Boris Johnson won the election because racism and misogyny run so deep in the UK. I mean, is she blind as well as stupid? Have you looked at the cabinet? Have you looked at the members of cabinet? Have you seen where Priti Patel comes from? Or Rashi? Money Man? Have you looked at the cabinet? No. They're racist. What a blooming thicko. Well, go on, off you go, darling. Bye. We won't miss you. Go and sing your little songs over there somewhere. Stupid cow. According to The Sun, Lily's decision will put a... And then it goes on about her custody. But, well, you decided to leave your boy? Or what is it? What, she got a boy, a girl? I don't know. So it's gonna put her relationship with her children out. Well, you decided to go, darling, not anyone else. What a thicko. I'm going to go around where I was... Old Jim Davidson was saying that. He said something very similar on his... he's got a YouTube channel, which is quite good. It's very honest. He says what he thinks, and I quite like that about people. You know, I quite like people to say what they think. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I quite like George Galloway. He says what he believes. I quite like that. I do quite like that. And Jim Davison is the same. And he was saying something very similar, you know, on his show the other day. You know, he was going on about that whole diversity thing. And if I remember rightly, yeah, he was saying, he said, well, don't any of you lot come over to South East London. We've all been living together quite happily there for years and years with no problems. It's only you lot stirring up all the trouble. And I agree with him. People are out there trying to stir up trouble for everyone else. You know, but there you go. One of those things. You're talking about Trump there, are you? I didn't really see that. I didn't really see the Trump and thing. I saw a very short... I was on the Daily Mail literally a couple of minutes before the show today, and they had the videos. Watch this video now, and I clicked on the video, and they were having a row on there, but it was only on for about 20 seconds. I wanted to watch the whole thing. Philip Hutchinson's nickname at school was Duck's Disease. Duck's Disease? I don't know what that means. Does that mean anything? Jason Hughes, Lilly Allen is the biggest snowflake of them all. Lives in a mansion. Put your money where your mouth is and put up a few homeless people. Absolutely. I mean, at least old Lineker done that, didn't he? He's done that. And how's that going? That's all gone a bit quiet, hasn't it? Hasn't he put up a... oh, what do they call them? A refuge... What do they call them? Refugees? Is it a refugees or a illegal immigrant? I don't know what he's put up. But, you know, at least he's done that. I have to give him credit where that is due. Oh, dear. But she really is some sort of snowflake. And you know what? We're better off rid of her. Just go, darling. If you don't like it, off you go. Don't sit there moaning about the country you were brought up in. Make me sick, these people. Hate the Union Jack flag or the Union flag. Pulling down statues, trying to wipe out history. I'm sorry, it happened. I weren't there. Don't blame me. It happened. And Winston Churchill? Want to remove Winston? Are you for real? It's disgusting. They should taser all these people, I reckon. Jeff says, Duck's disease, your bottom is too close to the ground. Well, you know mine is, Jeff. I'm not saying that you were looking at it, you know, but it does drag on the... It never used to drag on the bottom of my arse. It doesn't... Can I do something about that, do you think? Is there like some sort of bum lift I could have? Does that work? Jeff. Oh, dear. Has someone been looking after the rubbish along by the river? Could you have a look on your way out, on your way home tonight, Jeff? Could you have a look along that river and just inform me of any items that need to be cleansed, any areas? Lard arse, that's me, saggy arse. John Aitken. Hello, John. All right, Lilly Allen said she'd be bigger than Madonna. Really? I don't think so. She's just thick. There's something wrong in these people's heads. There really is. Been living with all sorts of people for years. No problem at all. Just want to stir up trouble for everyone, I'm sure, and get bits of attention. None of these people have got too much talent, you know. Remember, if you're young and pretty, you can probably bring out a song and be completely out of tune, but because everyone fancies you, you'll get a hit. Look at Gemma Collins. Not that she's young anymore. There we are. Old Katie Price has been recording a song as well, hasn't she? Christ. Do some squats. Now, what are those squats? Sent a photo of surrogate litter picker. Have you? Let's see if I can quickly look at that. It's not there yet, no. I won't be able to put it straight up, unfortunately. Colin Kay's not playing the bingo today. Okay, thank you, Colin. What are these squats? Let me just try squats. Don't know if I can do one of those. Let's try this squat thing. So I've got my bag ready to go up north. Look, it's got all prizes in it for the bingo. Oh yes, we're very on the ball, you know. Right. Squats. Now you're going to have to. The trouble is, I want to go for a wee at the moment. This might push it out, mightn't it? If I start doing squats. That's the only thing. Oh well. Let's try. Is it like that? You see, I can't get down any further. Do you have to do it without using your... Can you hear me? There we are. Do you have to do it without using your hands? Like, you know, obviously I'm going... So... Oh. Is that it? I can't get down any further than that. Really, honestly. Oh. It's not my trousers are too tight. I just can't get down any further than that. Is that squat? So you go down like that? Is that it? I don't know what it is. What's she going on about that, Rachel, today? Oh, that was hard work. I mean, I do me walking and that's it. Hello, Dylan. I can't get down any further than that, Andy, unfortunately. That's why I haven't got another half anymore. Water-saving dual flushes in your toilet. Who's got one of those? Well, apparently it looks like they might be using more water than they're saving. How useless are they? We're all being encouraged to save water these days, it says in the Daily Star. One of the steps many people have taken is installing dual flush loos. That's the little round button with two buttons encased in the sort of one button, if you see what I mean. But instead of saving water, they might actually be responsible for more waste. According to Thames Water... Oh, Thames. Hang on. Thames. Just a moment. Thames. Anytime we hear the word Thames, you know what has to happen, boys and girls. One moment, please. Okay. But according... instead of saving water, they might actually be responsible for more waste. According to Thames Water... Oh. That really does it for me. You can just close your eyes and go back to when you was a child. My friend Tom Edwards used to be one of the announcers on there. I love doing this because I wanted to do that job. I told you, didn't I? And we'll be back in the Crossroads Motel tomorrow evening at 6:30 here on Thames. Right now it's coming up to 7 o'clock and time for... what was that thing with Michael Aspel? There's a thing with Michael Aspel on Thames that he used to do. What was it now? God, he's not around anymore, is he, Michael Aspel? He used to do loads of stuff, didn't he? The Thames Telethon. Do you remember that? I think they only ever did one, didn't they? One of those charity things. Anyway, back to this story. Instead of saving water, they might actually be responsible for more waste. He says that because the complicated dual flush mechanism can be prone to leaks or are just misused by people who don't understand the two-button system, many of them are running all day. So the water's just constantly coming out. Because we've got so many loos that continuously flow all day, collectively that water loss is now exceeding the amount of water they should be saving, he told the BBC. Now, I've got one of these at the caravan, these double button things. I always push both buttons though, always. Do you? I always. In fact, I'm going to let you into a secret here. I've got a little bit of a toilet flush fetish. I tend to flush the toilet 4 or 5 times after I've been because I'm always worried that it's going to get pushed back up by some sort of water surge. And there's nothing worse than your own stuff coming back at you. It worries me. Whenever I walk past the toilet, I tend to go in there and push those buttons. Does anyone else do that? The volume of water loss is getting bigger every day as more people refurbish and retrofit their older toilets and as we build more new homes. We're actually adding to the problem. Anti-Waste Action Group Waterwise says that between 5 and 8% of toilets, which is a lot, are leaking, and most of these will be the dual flush ones. I'm not quite sure what they mean by leaking. I mean, obviously, a leak to you and me would be water pouring out somewhere. No, leaking down into the toilet and then back through the system. That's where the water's going. You may have noticed your water's leaking, unless, of course, you've got a water meter. You know, you'd certainly know about it then. You'd want to do something about it then, wouldn't you? Eh? All these people with no water meters, they have these sprinklers on all day long. The Bathroom Manufacturers Association admits that the modern drop valve mechanisms, which are found in most new installations, are prone to getting jammed open and running constantly. So there we are. Not such a good thing after all, those things, are they? Leaking toilets. Leaking toilets. Yes. Andy, I don't think you pay much attention to the show, really, do you, Andy? You're one of those people who is obsessed by time and numbers. You haven't paid any attention to the show at all, have you, Andy? Very disappointing. Very disappointed. Would someone like to tell Andy what he's not seen? All you're sitting there is waiting for that clock to tick round to 10 o'clock. Oh, your pills, your pills, your pills! You haven't seen, have you? Paying full attention. Andy V, not paying attention to the show. The amount of people here who are just obsessed by numbers and time. Oh, he hasn't taken his pills. Would you like to tell him what the problem is? Because he obviously still doesn't realise it yet. Now, Rachel, you don't go down to the floor. Stand up straight, arms straight out in front, and then bend your knees about halfway. Let's try this again. Thank you very much. What's she say? Stand up straight, arms straight out in front, and then bend your knees about halfway. Is that it? Oh, yes. I can feel my buttocks doing something. More of my knees, actually. Is that right? I feel like I should be in a mosque. Somewhere like that doing that, no? But they get right down on the floor, don't they? What? No sense of humour, some people. And I love you so. Well, did you realise, Andy V, what it was? What's happened? Did you realise? No, you ain't been watching, have you? I've taken them. Do you know how many times you do that? If you're going to do the whole pills thing, make sure you know what's going on. Now, what else do we have here? Put a brick in the system. I don't think that's going to cure that. A lot of people, they put bricks in the system and they just do it all wrong, don't they? Heidi reckons that was the correct angle. Perhaps we should... I've got an idea for the caravan site. Sylvie, who is queen of all caravans, could have a little keep fit session every day, couldn't they? And the perfect place for that would be at the end, near me. Yep, we could have you all there, Jeff and his wife Linda. Sylvie would be standing underneath the lamppost. Okay, Jeff and Linda would be there. We'd have Ken and Elaine. We'd have the bloke down the end there and his missus. Rory would be there. Rory and his missus. Oh, actually, I don't think his missus is there much, is she? Rory could be there. Sylvie's keep fit lesson every morning at 8 a.m. Yes. And Alan can be there as well. Are we liking the sound of that, Jeff? Oh, Christ, they've turned up at last. Paul and Luke, thanks for making it, mate. Dear me, he gets later and later, doesn't he? Wouldn't that be great, Heidi? I couldn't lead it. No, I'd have to be joining in with you. Heidi and her husband. I like the sound of that. Oh, Mark, are you good at that squatting? Rachel's going to turn up. You come down as well, Rachel. Perhaps we could just, everyone on there, we can get people to sell their caravans and all just move onto the site together. I think that'd be a nice thing, don't you? A few laps in the cornfield. That's all just been dug up. Yeah, I was watching, because I've got a camera around there, and they've just mowed, not mowed, what's that, ploughed the fields. All the stuff grew. I think it was barley, maybe. Corn and wheat and barley look... Is that the same thing, wheat and barley? Because it looks the same, doesn't it? That all grew up, and then they cut it all down with a giant lawnmower thing. And I think it was a couple of days ago, my camera went off. And this thing was ploughing up all the earth, so it's just dirt in front of me now. Which unfortunately means all the spiders will be running around looking for a new home. I dread to think what I'm going to find in that caravan later on today. Have you been there a whole hour, Paul and Lou? Oh, you're so quiet. You're like little mice. Little mice there. Too energetic for Jeff. We were talking about Gary Lineker earlier. He's for the sack soon, surely. He's opening his mouth a little bit too much. I don't think the new boss likes it. I always understood the BBC. You're not allowed to have your own opinions. You are supposed to be straight down the middle. You're not supposed to swing that way or that way. Most of my friends feel they've swung right over that way. Not just a little bit left, but quite left. That being said, that some of the other side think they're a little bit too much on the right-hand side, but I haven't found many people that think that. But I don't think you're supposed to have an opinion. You're just supposed to give the information, and that's it. I can have an opinion. It's my show. I'm not subscribed to a channel or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? But, I don't think you should have one on the BBC. You're supposed to be just giving the information as it is, straight down the middle. Completely balanced views. But Gary Lineker isn't, is he? He's on that Twitter all the time. Just because Twitter is not part of the BBC doesn't mean that you have to follow the rules. I'd sack him. I'd sack him absolutely straight away. Who the hell does he think he is? In the Daily Star, the outspoken Match of the Day host laughed off the new boss Tim David's threat to sack presenters for breaching impartiality rules. The Director General warned all BBC staff will be subject to new social media rules to be announced in a few weeks' time. Mr Davies said he could take people off Twitter if necessary. Added, I'm prepared to take the appropriate disciplinary action all the way to termination. Gary Lineker responded to the comments saying, I think only Twitter can take people off Twitter. MPs have grilled Mr Davey over star salaries at the BBC after taking up the post earlier this month. I think he's in for the sack. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. if you're going to work for the I'd be very happy to work for the BBC. I would have to tone down some of the things I say. I'm fully aware of that. Fully aware of that. But I would do it. You know, I think it's something very special to work at the BBC. I do think that's a very special thing. I think they're far too far left at the moment, but that's how it is. And I think this new bloke is trying to do something about it, to bring it more towards the middle, because it does seem a little bit unfair with that whole Europe thing and all that business going on there. It did seem very one-sided to me. That being said, perhaps that was because I was a bit further the other way. Remember, I'm slightly right of middle. Slightly right of middle. That's where I lay my cards on the table, as you well know. As you well know. I'm slightly right. I think most people are around the middle. Perhaps slightly one way or slightly the other way. There's not many people who are that way or that way. At least not that I know of, you know. But the BBC should be straight down the middle like that, and I don't think they are at the moment. Morning to the delightful Shania Steele. Good morning, Shania. Very pleased to note that she got the hymn last night was How Great Thou Art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God, to thee. How great thou art. How great thou art. Verse 2. Oh, you don't want it. Okay, then. Please yourself. Thank you, Tony. Paul Anu agrees with the sacking of Lineker. On 1.7 million, he should keep his mouth shut. They should all keep their mouth shut. All of the people at the BBC should keep their mouth shut. You're employed to do your job. You're not allowed opinion. You are damaging the very organisation you're working for. And if you were working for me, you'd be out. You've broken your contract. You've broken your impartiality. That's where they're supposed to be there. Will this new bloke be able to get it back like that? I hope so, because there's been a lot of damage at the organisation that I supported for so many years. From when I was a tiny little boy, I wanted to work on the BBC. The job I wanted to be a cameraman. I didn't want to be a presenter or the voice behind the globe. And then they took off the globe and put those pansy old balloons flying all over the place. I mean, for Christ's sake, dreadful. And now, just a red box. It says it all, red box, you know. One moment, please. No lycra, says Heidi. Absolutely no lycra. Not for me, anyway. I'm just thinking of anyone on the site who could wear lycra. Oh, no, Sylvie, she'll have a little lycra outfit. She'll have a leotard. Our lovely Sylvie. Oh, I like her so much. I don't know what it is about her. She's got something there. She's got something that's very likeable, Sylvie, I think. Really. All right. One more story, and then we'll do today's raffle tickets, boys and girls. Again, it's the Daily Star. Parrots. Now, this is in Lincolnshire. It's all going on in Lincolnshire, Rachel. I am shocked that this sort of thing goes on in Lincolnshire. This has been a very funny show, hasn't it? A controversial show today, boys and girls. Grannies going over to the Gambia and doing it with young men. We got the people calling out escorts, only to have their best friend's mum turning up. And now parrots that are swearing. It's disgusting. In Lincolnshire. Friskney Park. Terrible. 5 parrots have had to be... 5 parrots have had to be removed from public view at a UK safari park after they started swearing at visitors. I can't do that because I'm not going to swear on here. The Friskney Park at Lincolnshire Wildlife Park, which opened in 2003, is home to 1,500 parrots, accepted the new flock on August the 15th. The birds were all quarantined together in the same room, but soon discovered they all shared one thing in common: the ability to blast out obscenities. Hearing the foul language, staff around the park couldn't help but crack and smile, which the park's chief executive said only encouraged the birds to swear even more, reports the Lincolnshire Live. He said, for the last 25 years, we've always taken in parrots that have sometimes had a bit of blue language, and we have really got used to that. Every now and again, you'll get one that swears, and it's always funny. We always find it very comical when they swear at you. But, just by coincidence, we took in 5 in the same week, and because they were all quarantined together, it meant that one room was just full of birds constantly swearing. The more they swear, the more you usually laugh, which then triggers them to swear again. But when you get 4 or 5 together that have learnt the swearing and naturally learnt the laughing, so that when one swears, one laughs, and before you know, it's like an old working men's club scenario where they're all just swearing and laughing together. The birds were soon put out on display, but it didn't take long before the swearing resumed. I wish I had a recording of that. Mr. Nichols, who admits it's rather funny when the birds swear, said literally within 20 minutes of being in the introductory, we were told that one had sworn at a customer, and for the next group of people, all sorts of obscenities came out. And one of our 4 young girls, they really gave us some abuse. We found it highly amusing, and the customers were fine. There were no problems at all. But of course they were worried because we had a weekend coming up and children were coming. What, you're saying that children don't swear? Are you for real? I've heard some little children, the mouths on them. Not any of my own nieces and great nieces and great nephews. I just want to point that out. None of them swear. All are very good. They have little halos on their heads. Especially when I've got sweets to give them. Hello, Harry. Hello, Evie. Oh, what have I got in my pockets for you today? Out come a bag of sweets. Oh, they're all over me. All over me. And you give them the bag of sweets, right? You give them the bag of sweets. Can I have one? No. Huh? I just bought you sweets. Can I have one? No. And they hold the bag closer to their chests. Lovely, isn't it? Have you heard about their singing parrot? No, I haven't. Has he got a singing one as well? Rachel, on the subject of the wildlife park there, it's a fantastic place. They look after their animals with love. I'm sure they have. Tigers have a massive enclosure. It's like Jurassic Park. The white lions will be moving to a massive area soon. Wow. That's great, isn't it? I like the sound of that. Steve Carter, can't believe walkers haven't sacked Gary Lineker yet. The last thing I'd want advertising my products is someone who alienates people by pushing their own agenda, which is exactly what he does. Exactly what he does. You know. Would it cost a fortune to get rid of him? No, not if he's broken his contract, it wouldn't. No doubt he'll object to that, but ITV will probably take him on anyway, or Sky. They usually throw loads of money at people, which incidentally you're paying for with your Sky subscriptions. You know, if people didn't buy the Sky subscriptions, they wouldn't be able to afford these enormous amounts of money that some of these people are on. No, and I'm not jealous, no. I'd happily do a job on the BBC for, I don't know, £100 a show or something like that. I don't need £500,000, you know, every month to be doing something. Christ. Yeah, it's just greedy. It's greedy. Take. Of course, a lot of it's probably not the stars anyway. It's their bleeding greedy agents. Because they have to have their cut of it as well, don't they? So much greed in this world. I don't like greediness. I really don't. You know, I'm happy with that £2 I've got today. Thank you very much. Shall we do today's raffle tickets? Come on, let's do the raffle tickets then. And if you'd like a raffle ticket for next Monday's raffle, please speak now, you lovely people. And we'll do these raffle tickets. They might not be in order, I don't know. All right, here we go then. Maureen, please. 458 for Maureen. Maureen 458. Morning to George Bond. Mark Bowles 459. George Bond is there, is he? Okay, George. So I've seen popped on and off your videos before, and you basically do your version of my show, which is fine. It's no problem at all. Suggestion: how would you like to take yourself a little bit further? Right, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas now, George. start writing down things that you do yourself. Okay, maybe it might be just cleaning your room, or you go out somewhere with a friend or your little is it your niece or is it your cousin? I'm not quite sure. The little girl, not Lisa. Oh, what's her name? Your little sidekick. She's such a delightful little girl. Very intelligent she is. Oh, what's your girl's name? I can't remember now. Anyway, just start writing down things that you've been doing. Okay, start watching the telly. Start watching some of the news programs. Write down things there that you might have an opinion on, because it's your show. You do what you like. Okay, maybe look at some of the newspapers online. Pick out some stories that you might like to talk about. Okay. So start doing your own show. Just trying to help you here. You can do what you want. It's up to you. If you want to do everything I'm doing, that's fine. But if you start looking at that, you could be creating your own show there. Yeah? And that might give you an interest on something else to do. All right, George? Just trying to help you, remember? Just trying to help you along with that. Okay, let's do our raffle tickets. Mark Bowles, thank you, Mark. 459. John Aitken, 460. Peter Wright, 461. Tony King, 462. Rachel, 463. Jason Hughes, 464. Diane Jebb, 465. East Coast, that's not a raffle ticket, is it? Oh, there it is. East Coast, 466. Denise Andrews, 467. Michael Pullman, 468. Ross Herndon, 469. Just scrolling down there. Where did we get to? Ross. Where's our Ross gone? Where's our Ross? I've just disappeared. There you are. Ross Herndon, 469. And Gary Ross, 470. Dylan, 471. Heidi Young, 472. Philip Hutchinson, 473. Philip Hutchinson. Philip and Dylan, are you related? Philip and Dylan, as a matter of interest. Philip, you've got 473. George Bond, 474. Anyone else? Is that anyone else? Jeff, 475. Okay. Anyone else? Have I missed anyone else to the raffle ticket? If I missed out your raffle ticket, please speak now. Okay? And I will correct that for you. Oh, Riverside Litter Picker. Oh, there's a picture of a couple of swans. Aren't they lovely, those swans? Thank you, Jeff. I'll stick those up tomorrow. Beautiful swans along by the river. There's, Jeff, there's a bungalow. I don't know if you know where I mean now. So leave the caravan site, over the little bridge, turn right, over the little bridge, around past the council estate on the right, up the hill, to the river, turn left, right? Don't go too far along there. There's a bungalow. That was for sale a while ago. I was going to look at it, but I didn't in the end. Opposite the bungalow, there's a bit where you can go down. Okay? Is that where you took that picture? The swans come there. Now, the chap who owns that cottage, who I met, and we had a good conversation with him and his missus, that's their, like, private bit at the front there, okay? So they often go down there, and they literally sit there, and all the swans and their children, the swans' children, cygnets, come and sit with them. I'm absolutely serious. And they take bits of bread and what have you, I suppose, to feed them. Now, if they don't go down there, the swans, I've seen this, the swans walk up the bank with their children. They cross the road and go down to the bungalow asking for something to eat. I kid you not. So be a bit careful when you're coming along that road. Some people have... Do you know some people aim for the ducks when they're crossing the road? I just don't get people. I really don't. Paul Adamson, thank you, Paul. 476. And thank you for your video, Paul. Sorry, I haven't had time to watch that yet. Thank you for your video there as well. Good. Okay, let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday. There's only 2 today on this Wednesday. On this Wednesday, September the 30th, 2022, a very good friend of mine, Peter Watts, who I worked with at British Telecom Directory Inquiries in Wimbledon. I haven't seen him, my God, 30 years, Peter? 30, it must be 30, it's got to be more than that. Wow, 80, 92, 91, 90, 89. Let me think. 83, 82, 81, 82, 83, 85, 95, 05, 15. 35 years? I don't think I've seen him for 35 years. Peter Watts I worked with at British Telecom Director Inquiry Bureau in Wimbledon. That's the days when you dialed 142. You dialed 142 if you wanted a number in London, or 192 if you wanted a number outside of London, and it was free. We never used to charge for that. And then they started charging and it all went a bit wrong, and now it's like, what is it now to find a phone number? 6 quid? 7 quid? Wow. Anyway, Peter today is 64 years old. Happy birthday, Peter. Hope you're keeping all right there. All right, Peter, happy birthday. And Stephen Lusher, who's a DJ, I know Stephen as well, is 53 years old today. So just a couple of birthdays today, boys and girls. Happy birthday to Peter and Stephen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. What's Dylan saying there? Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. I'll leave that as a sort of private thing now. What I've been saying, I don't even do with my family. I don't know what I was talking about then to get that message. I'm sorry, Dylan. That's gone right out of my head. I can't... Right, Heidi, some people want putting down oxygen thieves. Absolutely. Yeah, there were. I saw a video. I don't know if it was a YouTube video or something awful like that. But it was outside a McDonald's. And there was a duck crossing the road and she purposely drove over it. I just don't understand people. I really don't. Bond, your friend is it was your niece, was it Lily? Lily, I remember her, Lily. She's very, very intelligent. We quite like Lily. Shania 477 for Shania. Okay, thank you, Shania. All right. Okie doke, gang. Let's do today's little game of bingo. Paying for a full house, you need to mark off all the numbers on your tickets. And if you do, you will win. As soon as you've marked off all the numbers of your tickets, I will know someone's won. I'll stop the game. You then have 1 minute and 30 seconds to claim your extra raffle tickets. If we move on to the next number after a minute and a half, then you've missed it. Doesn't matter what the reason is. You need to claim in that minute and a half that's up there. If for some reason you don't, then you've missed it. All right? Hang on a minute. Oh, what have I done now here? That's part of the quiz for next week. Oh, we're way ahead, dear. Way ahead. Be prepared. That's what we say. I've already got the music round recorded for next week and everything. Very, very busy. Okay, I was talking about if Philip Hutchinson was related. You're not related. Okay, thank you very much for that. I can't remember what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. Don't ever try and have a long conversation with me. I don't know what you're talking about. Right, you ready then? Eyes down. Let's play bingo. A little game of bingo. And here we go. 6 and 2, 62. 4 and 6, 46. All on its own, number 3. 8 and 7, 87. 2 and 4, 24. 2 and 3, 23. 4 and 2, 42. 3 and 5, 35. All the 4s, 44. 1 and 2, 12. 3 and 2, 32. 8-0, blind 80. 4 and 1, 41. 8 and 1, 81. 6 and 3, 63. 6 and 4, 64. 2 little ducks, 22. Quack, quack. 3 and 9, 39. All the ones, legs 11. That's been used now, so that can go in there. Andy says, pay attention. Have you not been paying attention to your own show? You must be joking. No, I haven't. I wouldn't sit here and watch this crap for 2 hours. Are you for real? It's only idiots like you that are watching it. I wouldn't watch this. Not if you paid me. Crap. All of it. 7-0, blind 70. 4-0, blind 40. 3-0, blind 30. 6 and 8, 68. 2-0, blind 20. All on its own, number 7. 1 and 4, 14. All on its own, number 4. 8 and 6, 86. 5 and 7, 57. One of the reasons I do this show, Andy, is because people's wives, like your wife, ask me specifically to do a show so that it gets husbands like you out of their bleeding hair for a couple of hours. That's why I sit here. People have had enough of their other halves. It's true. Jeff's Linda. She's been saying, can you do a longer show? Gets Jeff out of my hair for a bit longer. That's why we're doing it. Annoying people like you, Andy, you annoy your wife too much. So she says, do a longer show, Chris. Keep him out my hair for a bit longer. They all pay me, you know. All these wives. 5 and 7, 57. 3 and 6, 36. 7 and 8, 78. 3 and 8, 38. 2 and 6, 26. 5 and 3, 53. 4 and 5, 45. Is Sherry with us today? Did I say hello to Sherry yet? Is Sherry there today? 8 and 2, 82. 5 and 9, the Brighton line. Woo, woo, buh, buh. 1 and 6, sweet 16, ta la 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 la. Happy birthday, sweet 16. All the 3s, 33. 7 and 4, 74. 7 and 2, 72. 6 and 1, 61. 5 and 2, 52. 7 and 5, 75. All the 7s, 77. All on its own, number 5. All the 5s, 55. 4 and 8, 48. Hello, Sherry. I've got something to tell you about Sherry later. I've got something to tell you. All on its own, one little duck, number 2, quack. 4 and 9, 49. 3 and 4, 34. 8 and 4, 84. 2 and 8, 28. Hello, Sherry. 2 and 5, 25. 8 and 9, 89. Hang around, Sherry. All right, darling. 2 and 9, 29. 7 and 1, 71. 6 and 9, 69. 8 and 3, 83. All on its own, number 9. 1 and 7, 17. 5-0, blind 50. 6 and 7, 67. One fat, morbidly obese, completely untalented Gemma Collins up for the Nobel Peace Prize, number 8. 1 and 9, 19, and a 19, 9, 19, 19. 2 fat Gemma Collinses with no talent whatsoever. If you thought 1 was bad, 2 is even worse. 2 fat, morbidly obese Gemma Collins doesn't know how to speak properly, number 88. 5 and 6, 56. 8 and 5, 85. 4 and 3, 43. All the 6s, 66. Click the fingers, my darlings, all right? And all on its own, 1 click, number 6. Boris's Den, number 10. Oh, what are we going to do today? Well, you've got to go out with 6 people, but only if there's only 6 people. But if you're outside, 6 is all right. If you're in... Oh, I don't know. What's the answer to that question? Boris's Den, number 10. 1 and 3, unlucky for some, 13. 3 and 1, 31. Ooh! Andy V. Leave Gemma alone. Ooh! Ooh! Someone likes Gemma. Ooh! You're going to beat me up, are you, Andy? Wow. When? Oh, sorry, I'm getting quite excited now. 3 and 1, 31. Top of the shop, blind 90. 6 and 5, 65. 7 and 3, 73. 7 and 9, 79. 2 and 7, 27. We have a winner on 27. Let's bring up the clock. There it is. Dylan makes me... okay, you're talking to each other. That's okay. It's thyroid. Oh, please, Gary, do me a favour. No, it ain't. It's chips. Oh, I've got water retention. No, it's not. It's chip retention. Chip retention. That's what it is. My notes I've made about Sherry this morning. Just coming up in a moment. Who needs a roughing up? I'm here. Gary V reckons he's going to rough me up because he likes Gemma Collins. Do me a favour. Not with Mark Bowles standing in front of me, you won't, sunshine. No chance. Bingo for Peter Wright. Thank you, Peter. Peter's won the extra raffle ticket this morning. Here's his numbers. 3, 4, 12, 26, last number 27, 34, 36, 40, 46, 50, 57, 62, 74, 77 and 84. Congratulations to Peter Wright. An extra raffle ticket for you. Ticket number 478. I can't see myself there. One moment, please. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's something I haven't done yet, isn't it? I haven't done that yet. Oh, I haven't done that yet. Okay, there you go, Peter. 478 for you there, Mr. Peter Wright. So they'll be going in a little silver thing later. Thank you, gang. Philip doesn't do the bingo, but he waits for 88 and 8. And now I know who she is. Paul and Lou, did I get a raffle ticket? I don't know. Did you? You left that a bit long, didn't you? No, you didn't. 479, Paul and Lou. There you go. Paul and Lou, 479. All right. East Coast has got a 7-seater. Might sell the extra seat or try and get tax cheaper now. Only allowed 6. You can try. Anyway, before I watched the show today, I noticed that the delightful Sherry DMP, she has her own channel, Sherry DMP, and she was making a blackberry milkshake this morning, which looks absolutely delicious, I have to say. But do you know what, Sherry? I was watching you do this, and then you put the lid on the thing. I'm really sorry. I was really hoping that lid was going to fly off the blender. and completely cover you in milkshake. My milkshake brings the boys to the car. Must say, you did keep it very tidy and neat there, Sherry, your caravan. And then, Christ, I don't know why you've got any teeth left, to be honest, Sherry. How much sugar did you put in that? 3 teaspoons. 3! Add in sugar. Aren't those blackberries sweet enough for you, my love? You're too sweet to have all that sugar, darling. Sugar diabetes, dear, very dangerous. And, John Parrish, while I've got you on here, always one to point out a mistake in my backdrop or light or something like that. I'd like to point out your light switch that was behind Sherry while she was drinking that over-sugared, very delicious-looking blackberry milkshake. I think you need to do something with that, darling. Christ, that's dirty, isn't it? That's your job, not hers. She don't do anything wrong in my eyes, Sherry, except too much sugar. Very dangerous for you, Sherry, my love. You need to put a new light switched on there. That thing was filthy, dear. Filthy. Go and have a look back if you don't believe me. Terrible. Anyway, have a look at Sherry DMP's channel, showing you how to make a blackberry milkshake today. Looks absolutely delicious, I must say. There we go, gang. Thanks very much for joining us on the show today. I shall hopefully be back with you tomorrow morning at 8:45 in the morning. As always, if you've got anything to send in, feel free. Just send it to that email address there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you tomorrow morning. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.